Hi, Will for Sound on Sound here at the NAMM Show 2018 with James Young of Aston Microphones. James, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, mate.
Excellent. And what are you showing us today?
This is part of the new accessory pack that we've got for Aston this year, being launched in March 2018, obviously.
And what is it exactly?
This is the Swift Shield. So we've got 3 different products. The Swift Shield is a combination shock and pop. We've got these gooseneck pop shields here, and then we're also selling the shock mount on its own. But they're a little bit special.
So what's special about the shock mount then?
Well, the combo, it's a really quick and easy to release pop filter. So if you don't want it and you're just doing instrument miking, it's that easy to take on and off. And the actual shock mount itself, I think, is the fastest mounting shock mount in the world. It's that easy to do.
And how tightly does it grip, so to speak?
Well, tightly enough. Tightly enough to hold a pretty heavy microphone like a Spirit or an Origin. So it's, it'll hold pretty much any mic from 30 millimeters up to 55 millimeters diameter. So we've tested it with Spirits, and we've actually sellotaped a couple of Spirits together, so it'll take twice the weight of a Spirit, and you can still shake it around.
So that's getting into the territory of quite a heavy vintage microphone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Excellent. So how much will that cost then, just the shock mount?
Well, this is the beautiful thing. All this lovely finish and advancement in technology, as we're well known for now, and yet these things are going to be one of the least expensive on the market. So the shock mount is £49. The gooseneck pop shield is going to be £39, and the combination together is £79.
Okay, very nice. And can you tell us a little bit more about the actual elastic situation?
Yeah, the whole thing has really been another ground-up design from us. We wanted to have a look at shock mounts and what the problems were with them and how we could resolve certain issues. One of them is the weight. If you feel how light this is, they're incredibly lightweight.
That is pretty lightweight,
yeah. This is an all-aluminium C-ring, which gives it the strength and stability. And then this bit in here, which is our answer to the old rubber bands that you get, is a silicon star. So it's a single piece of silicon in a star shape, which just slots in these T-bars here. So very difficult to break, but if it does break, then it's really quick and easy to replace. You haven't got all that fiddly stuff going on. So that's the elastic suspension, and it's really one of the best isolated shock mounts that you can possibly buy as well. The other thing in here is the spring clip technology. That's a big bugbear with shock mounts, is that you've either got to screw them on
It takes forever,
yeah. There's lots of different designs, but they've all got failings like that. And Jack, the same guy that designed the microphone chassis, came up with this idea. It actually took quite a while to do, because the difficulty obviously with the springs is you don't want to make them so heavy that if you've got weak arms like me, you can't actually open the thing. But springy enough and sticky enough that it'll hold to the microphone, but they do it. As you can see, it's so easy to mount these things so quick.
And what about the pop shield itself then? What's going on there?
Yeah, this is also unique. So most pop shields are either kind of a metal stretched lattice, that perforated stuff that you get, or old ladies' tights, the ones that we're all used to. But this is something very different. This is a piece of 0.2 millimeter solid stainless steel, which has been acid etched. So these are lots of little tiny, perfectly hexagonal holes in there, and it gives you amazingly good pop filtering, and it also looks pretty cool as well.
So in terms of the performance of this style versus the more traditional metal pop shield, is there any difference?
All of these things, I think most people, if they try and tell you that they can hear the difference between a metal pop shield and a fabric pop shield, are probably extending the truth a little bit, But this is up there with the best of them. It certainly doesn't have any noticeable effect on the tone of the audio. You don't lose any high frequency, but it does get rid of plosives completely.
Okay, James, why do we need these then?
That's a good question, actually, because obviously the thing about our microphones is you don't really need a shock mount and a pop shield most of the time. But a lot of our users are adding pop shields because if they're doing really close mic stuff, or if they're particularly heavy on the plosives, then it's good to have one. So probably about 50% of the users add these onto the microphones anyway, so we thought, why not do our own? With the shock mount, of course, you might want something which is really quick release. So even when you've got the director stand mounting with this, you've still got to screw the mic on and off, or if you want to get into a particularly awkward space and angle the mic in, then obviously it's more difficult to do it if it's direct mounted. So you've then got the option to do that. And we figured, if people are going to use a pop shield or a shock mount, and they ought to be ours, and if we're going to put one out onto the market, we didn't want to do something me too. It needs to be something a bit special, so that's what we've done. And of course, you don't need to have an Aston microphone to use these, so there's a whole new market out there for us as well. Yeah.
So remind us again the pricing then?
The shock mount is £49 on its own, so one of the least expensive on the market, but we think the best. The pop shield is £39 for the gooseneck version, and then the combo shock and pop is £79.
Great. Thanks a lot, James.
Cheers.